Hi guys, welcome to Breaker SC2. I'm your host today, Breaker. And tomorrow's host will also be Breaker. By the way, this is a replay that I picked up from the front page of Drop.sc. Not entirely sure who I'm casting. I'm not familiar with either of these players, at least not too terribly familiar, but it looks like they got some kind of a grudge going. As you see, EmmaStone giving out the good luck, have fun, and EFXOJimRising says good luck BM, and EmmaStone just says BM with a question mark, wondering just what this guy means. Oh, who started the dirty talk? Thank you. I'm not sure what this is all about. Anywho, in the upper right hand corner, spawning is Zerg in the red trunks. It's none other than FXOJimRising. Now, I gotta say, I'd be honored to actually belong to the same clan as this guy, because he's also in the same clan as FXODesro, our Canadian boss toss. Okay, you know what? That's MC's title. I'm not gonna bother with that. Sorry, guys. A little tasteless of me. But in the lower left-hand corner, spawning is our Protoss in the blue trunks. I give you none other than BNH EmmaStone. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the name BNH stands for. I'm not entirely sure, like, if it's some kind of clan. It looks like they encountered some kind of a lag or latency issue in the early phases of the game. But, of course, citing the pylon that we see here, looks like EmmaStone's going to go for a macro-oriented opening. Nothing wrong with that. As a 4-gate, or excuse me, a 3-gate opener versus Zerg can be like quite. I don't want to say dangerous to hold, but I do want to say, like for a Protoss end, it's kind of dangerous to hold. Basically, there's no getting around that. Okay, and it looks like we just have nothing but drones coming out. I figured I'd go on a bit of a casting spree. I'm in that casting mood again, especially with Heart of the Swarm coming out tomorrow in less than 24 hours. This is going to be a midnight release, and I like this move by EfXOJimRising. He's actually pulling 2 drones to kind of deal with that probe. And if he throws down a pylon, now there we go. Excellent timing indeed. Now what EfXOJimRising is going to do is, looks like he's going to send this one to the lower left-hand dish position, if you will. And the probe arrives here. And this pylon gets cancelled. Now, if EmmaStone wanted to be extremely annoying, what she could do, I'm gonna assume it's a she because I don't know who she is. I haven't seen her photo. She could just come back here, swing around, and throw another pylon down. But ooh, what is this? Is this a double extractor trick? Yes, it is. I thought we were gonna see double gases for a second, and maybe a rush to a Nidus worm, a Nidus rush, if you will, Nidus all in. Fortress now finishing up, and the cannon is going down as is customary in this kind of matchup. And the gateway is also down. I like this little wall-off move by the probe here. I mean, like, I want to say not a lot of people really get this angle, but, you know, even myself, I don't get it that much. I don't understand it. Oh, but this is actually just a teeny bit critical. Looks like we got EmmaStone moving into the natural. Excuse me, the natural and then the main, and just seeing what, then throwing down that pylon, just seeing what we have coming from EfXOJimRising, and there it is, double gas already. That is interesting to say the very least. So how are we going to see this get followed up by Jim is the real question. That's what I want to know. Pylon's going to get taken out in a heartbeat. There we go, both gases finished. He did just let them finish. This isn't going to be one of those double extractor tricks that we saw from, jeez, what's that guy? What's that guy who went into Destiny's channel and started spamming a link that said, oh, I beat Destiny, watch me train some other guy, watch me train some noob, or something like that? I forget. Anyway. If you guys could post that in the comments, that would be great. I saw the guy that, you know, Destiny was basically trolling him a few minutes afterwards, and he made him really angry. It was funny, but yeah. Since we just see macro from both players, I just thought it would be funny to bring that up. It's like, you come to my stream and you want to steal my viewers? No, that's not going to happen. Alright, Zealot makes it over here with a Zergling kill. And of course we just have, well, we have what appears to be EfXOJimRising continue to macro up, but I'm a little confused. He is making a layer on 2 base, and now there's 2 more gases going down. So I want to say with the kind of gas economy this is, it would be difficult to pull off a Nidus. Excuse me, a Nidus rush all in. But I will say that the length of this game does make me think that it is quite the interesting game to watch. Oh, and a third base already in the mix for EmmaStone. If this is a 2-base Nidus Rush, then we're gonna, I mean, if Jim can find that angle, then definitely we're gonna see EmmaStone in a heap of trouble. Now we do have 6lings coming out here to just see what's over here, and they find what is cannons, 2 of them, just standing there to guard a nexus. But yeah. Okay, so what's in production now? Ah, the Spire. Okay, so I see what this is. This is basically a 2-base Spire play. I kind of agree with this. I can respect that move. Alright, now both players just continuing to tech up the Robo Bay, just now going down for EmmaStone. That position, nothing wrong with that. Nothing too terribly wrong with that, I think. I think it's just jutted out just a teeny bit. And more gateways being tacked on. So the question is just what kind of tech do we have here now? We've only got 1 gateway? We have 2 gateways now? 2 gateways. Alright. And that's they're about to be warp gates, by the way. Alright, so altogether we've got 5 gates altogether. Sorry for the redundant sentence, my English is a little Oh, and this is an interesting tech up that we see coming from EmmaStone. Is this going to be a Sky Tosser? Could this really be a Sky Toss? My god, just what is this? This is going to be interesting to say the very least. I do want to cite that now we are 1 day before the Heart of the Swarm release date, and this is not some silly replay that some friends told me to download and cast. I actually found this on the front page of Drop.sc. Here we go. We have the Mutas just now popping. How many is that? We're about to find out. Ooh, that's a healthy chunk of about 10. Stargates are just about finished. The question is, what units are they going to start cranking out? Choice Phoenixes or Void Rays? If it's Void Rays, it's going to be a little difficult for them to handle the Mutas, at least cost effectively. No, it is Phoenixes. And here we go. The Mutas have arrived at the natural. And of course, the first things to get targeted down are the cannons. Only 3 Stalkers make it here. There's 4 altogether. 1 did just now warp in and finish. And it looks like the Mutas are just like, oh, I don't care about you guys. I'm just going to go get some probe kills. Now, I do want to just state for a moment that we did see EmmaStone corner those Phoenixes, even as they are getting lots of probe kills. The Mutas, that is. He did have those Phoenixes kind of cornered, backed against the wall, not cornered really. And he could have gotten a little more DPS in before running him away. And now these Phoenixes are basically playing the kiting game. But let's see just how many workers EmmaStone killed. 15 altogether. That brings them to about even in terms of worker count. So these Mutas have basically sort of paid for themselves. But he really has to kill, I want to say, about 10 more before it's actually any significant damage that puts him further ahead than EmmaStone. Now, one thing I do want to say also is that this game is going to be, ooh, whoa. Already getting the fleet beacon. Interesting. Well, we do have EmmaStone in response, well, in silent response, blind response, taking his 4th. Okay, and what is it here that we're going to see? Nothing else in terms of tech. We do have the the Twilight Council on the way. Wukong Yihui, as they say in Chinese. And a lot of Corruptors in production. Just what am I casting? Is this HOTS? I'm confused. I am so discombobulatedly confused right now. Alright, so here we are, 10 Phoenixes. What else is in production? Okay, we see the Interceptors upgrade. Wait, hold on. Yeah, okay, yeah, this is the Interceptors upgrade. I'm sorry. I don't play Protoss, so I don't know exactly what that is. And now we just have more and more Mutas and more Corruptors getting cranked out. The question is just, like, does he know about this? He doesn't. So I'm just a little curious. What on earth is this? Am I reviewing a practice game between these two guys, or what? Is EmmaStone like on his Smurf? There we go. The Corruptors are going to come here and do some damage to these phoenixes. They actually outrange them slightly. Yes, they do. Actually, they have the same range, but they can take more beef than the phoenixes can. Yeah, those flying tanks from Zerd. Alright, here we go. Oh my god, that control shift F key, it doesn't want to work with me. There we go. Alright, so we just have both players like, okay, you want to do this? Okay, well, I'll do that. And speaking of that, well, never mind. That's kind of irrelevant. I really think that we should see FXOJimRising taking a 5th base. There it is, just as I say it. I would say a 6th or even a 7th base wouldn't be a bad idea right now. There's an observer right here. Interesting. All these pings being thrown out all over the map. I actually did not do that, so I'm guessing maybe there was an observer, a caster involved. As there are with most tournaments, but again, I'm not entirely sure if this was part of a tournament or not. And there was something here I did just miss. May have been an attempted Ling run-by. Mutas in the main, really tearing up EmmaStone's economy, making it worse than America's right now. Oh my god. Oh, these corruptors casting corrupt on all these phoenixes. This is just not pretty for EmmaStone whatsoever. So the question is just, what are we going to see? I mean, you know what I think we see here clearly is basically JimRising is running laps around EmmaStone. He is really, you know, let's check the APM. This is under the new system. I think 1.4.7 patch is what it was. Been playing StarCraft for like 2 years, and I don't keep track of the patch notes. Like, you know, I mean, I can remember 1.4.3 when Infestor range was nerfed, but you know, every single little detail that comes with each patch update is not my responsibility to know. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I'm a casting personality. At least I'm trying to be. More gateways being tacked on, so it looks like we may just see a switch in tech from EmmaStone. We do have more and more Sky Toss upgrades going down. +3 ground weapons on the way now for the Stalkers, and this is actually looking a little bit like something I would expect from the Neo TV Star League. Oh my god, these poor zealots on the ground, they're like, I wish I could fly. You know, just that kind of thing. You know, can't the Stalkers just throw me at the Mutalisks and the Corruptors in the sky? Anywho. That is now just a handful of Phoenixes chasing down all of these Mutas, and there's no Spore Crawlers here to respond to this, I think. So it looks like maybe just... No! Oh my god, poor guy. Well, now, I mean, there's going to be 44 Lings here, and just... You know, there's only a handful of Zealots, a couple of Stalkers, and 3 Sentries. I don't know, I guess I could get a full surround on all of this, and then they'd force fields, of course. But I don't see what else we would see JimRising do that could make him hold against this. We do have Hive Tech finally on the way for JimRising, but of course the main fight is right here. Yeah, I want to say this is what a pro calls practicing their macro. Basically, that's what a lot of these games can be like. But here we go. The Stalkers, or excuse me, not the Stalkers, the Zealots come in here. They actually take down the 5th base, which is only mining gas. Of course, this is the painful part, in my opinion. EmmaStone is clearly aware of this, but oh, can the Zealots come in here and get this hatch, or are they gonna just maybe get the Queen? No, it looks like he's actually going for a bit of a base trade here. But of course the Mutas arrive and the day is saved. More Stalkers coming in, or not Stalkers, more Zealots coming in over here. And it looks like these Zealots' goal for now is to try and chase down the Queens. They're not really going to succeed at that, poor guys. But these guys down here might be a different story. No, the Mutas are about to arrive. Yeah, Mutas are on the scene. Level 2 attacks. Level 3 attacks now on the way for Sky Toss. I do want to say that I think, you know, like, right now, this game is not going in the direction of EmmaStone whatsoever. Like I said, this is one of those games where Protoss practices macro. I remember casting a game where we saw EXE Profix playing against Dignitas Killer. And the results did not favor Profix whatsoever. There we go. EmmaStone does get a small victory out of this. He does she picks up the queen, snipes it, if you will, kind of just claps it. And more phoenixes on the scene. Yeah. Right now, +3 flyer attacks on the way. I honestly don't know what's stopping Jim from going in for the kill. I mean, I think he knows, and everyone else here knows that, what's going on here. Alright, so there it is. The Stalker just kind of goes in there, tags the Mutalisk, and then the Phoenixes come in and try and clean up the mess. But frankly speaking, I think we should see these Phoenixes being used a bit more aggressively, just a teensy bit more aggressively, because of course we do see that there's nothing else. There's no other role they're really fulfilling right now except trying to kill the mutas, which are being protected by these corruptors. There we go, more Lings in on the way. But of course we have a Stalker Ball building up for EmmaStone. The question is just who's going to win this, really. I think right now the biggest mistake we see from JimRising is that he's just not going in for the kill, and there it is. The Phoenixes are actually doing what I said they should be. They're actually going in, trying to make some damage happen. I would not leave them lurking in one spot like this, but now they can basically one-shot queens. Much the same way we would see, I would say, much the same way I'd say we would see Mutas single-shotting a missile turret with SCVs surrounding it. But of course, we have JimRising just taking more expos for every single one that falls. 9 more will rise to take its place. Yes, 10 is just a word. 10 is just a number that's just, I feel, too out of control. There we go. EmmaStone finally putting those Phoenixes to good use. I really like this move. Killing the gas at the 3rd. Shutting down all the gas mining operations. As long as we're going to see FXOJimRising really playing this way, I figured basically what I could do is, this kind of reminds me just a teeny bit of a friend of mine who said he works at a refinery, and I said, so you're an SCV? He's like, what? Yeah. I said, you play StarCraft too? And I'm like, yeah, so do I. So that's basically how that conversation went down. It was kind of funny, but ooh, this is not funny right here. No, sir, this is not. Of those 8 or so Phoenixes, we now just have maybe 4 left. But of course, Stalker Death Ball is here, and unfortunately, we basically have the main going dry for our Protoss. And even if it doesn't go dry, there's no amount of cannons in the world that can stop this number of Mutalisks. Yes, here they are. It looks like the Nexus is getting targeted down, and I want to say we see EmmaStone opting for a base trade scenario, but of course that's not going to work out too well in her favor. At least not presently. We're going to need to see some kind of AoE to really deal with the mutas. We're going to have to see, like, really some money. We're going to have to see some High Templars casting a bunch of money storms, really. I don't know if he's even lost a single Stalker from any of this, but now we basically have EmmaStone basically down 3 bases. I'm sorry, this one did fall when I didn't, excuse me, not EmmaStone. We have JimRising down 3 bases, but of course, Stalkers are in the mix now, and I'm just a little curious, just where is this going to go? If it's a base trade, then automatically Zerga's going to win this, but of course the Mutalisks can basically outspeed everything here, and they're not going to get out of here without taking at least the slightest bit of damage. These mutas actually have no armor upgrades right now, but we do see FXOJimRising just continuing to crank out more and more Mutalisks. Corruptors are just over here doing whatever. And I want to say that JimRising really is not taking this game seriously. I can't really blame him. Just trying to put on a show for the guys at home. But it is a bit notable to just get a look and see what all is mined dry and what is getting mined dry. There it is. The natural, excuse me, the main is actually dry there, and so is the 3rd, or at least what would be the 3rd. So I'm going to say if JimRising's not careful here, he could actually lose this. Oh, and this, it looks like this may have been a mistake by him, but of course it looks like we have both players just opting for a base trade right now. Yeah, EmmaStone just completely supply blocked, being pulled back, forced to pull back, splitting the Stalkers. I kind of like that move, trying to take down whatever he can. But now we have one Archon on the way, and the question is, what tech does he have? Ah, the Templar Archives that allows him to make Archons. I was thinking to myself, is it the Dark Shrine, or is it going to be the Templar Archives? But of course, here we go. Now we have all three Nexus basically destroyed, and that means we're going to have to see, it'll be just a matter of seconds until we see FXOJimRising basically knowing where the opponent's bases are. Nothing in production for either player. But of course, I think we could see JimRising win this simply due to the fact that he's got minerals banked. Even if he wanted to, like, he could throw away half of his, or all of his army right now, and he'd basically win this. I can't say this enough. I don't think he's taking this game seriously. And here we go. Stalker's trying to shut down all forms of income right now. I think one thing, does he have any probes left? He has 5 left. Where are they? Well, he had 5 left. Now he has no means of producing any more probes left in this game. And right now, it's just not working out. It's not panning out for EmmaStone at all. Basically forced to come back home now and defend against this attack. There's no way of getting around that. But of course, if you want to stop and look at both players' incomes for the moment, JimRising has some kind of income, and basically EmmaStone's stuck with nothing. Poor guy. One Archon, that's going to be the hero Archon with 14 kills. Question is, where do the kills come from? Lings or... Ew. Lings or Mutas. And of course, everything that JimRising has flying back home. Stalker's moving out, and now we just see basically, Jim's just like, okay, so why don't I end this game? I can see who this guy is. I know where all of his gateways are. I know where all of his units are. Well, not all of his units, but definitely where all of his buildings are. Yeah, this is one of those games, guys. One of those long ones that I like to say. It kind of resembles what I would see Loner doing from Changzhou in mainland China. And here the Mulas come along with the Corruptors. They're basically just going to shut this entire party down. Like, there's no getting around this. You could just target everything down here and win no matter what. No matter how much of an effective blink we would see from JimRising. Or excuse me, no matter how much of an effective blink we would see from EmmaStone. These are the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buildings. If we just go to tech right now, it's just, 6 buildings that are left. And there's just one Stalker going after this hatchery right here. Just what are we going to deal with this? I think the drones could actually give the Stalker a hug. No, it looks like that's not his choice. Okay, so question is, where does EmmaStone go from here? This is everything that Emma has left, and by her perception of the game, it could basically be like, I don't know. It could be like, okay, well, maybe I've got my opponent on his or her back foot. But honestly, right now, JimRising should know that he's actually winning this game, obviously. They're willing to throw Lings away, and EmmaStone's just throwing a portion of her Stalkers away to actually make some kills happen. The Stalkers kind of surrounding the Archon here, not a bad idea. There we go, Ling run by, and of course the 5th is going to get shut down over here. There we go, but of course that's just, there's just so many Mutas here, there's so many Corruptors here. They're going to throw a Corrupt spell down on these Stalkers, and now they're basically melting. I mean, everything that we had of what was once thralling Protoss Death Ball is now, I want to say, about ready to disappear. There we go, the Archon, the Hero Archon, trying to make it into the mix, trying to get the kills on the Mutas. He's landing excellent spread. But of course now we just have 2 Stalkers left, and that's just going to make for a sour GG. Where is the last Stalker? He says, I guess I have to go. Storm. Lol. I thought that was probably a rage quit. I thought he said at first. I'm sorry, I thought she said it first. Guess I have to go because there's a storm. But no. EmmaStone says, guess I have to use Storm to take care of all the Mutalisks. Yes, this is the one main point of Cloud Kingdom that is quite interesting to cover. Oh, there's just so much room for expansions on this map that you could easily take Hatch, 2 gases, and whatever, and just easily just make a Mutalisk death ball. Of course, I've seen Korean Code A players that can take this down in a heartbeat, but I've also seen tons of Chinese players that are willing to do it. Nonetheless, alright guys, so if you liked what you saw, just go ahead and click the subscribe button on my channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. That's facebook.com/BreakerSC2. And go ahead and browse my Twitter feed. That's twitter.com/EXEBreaker. I'll go ahead and link all of that stuff in the video after I get done uploading it. Alright, thanks for watching guys. Good game.